Welcome everyone to a casted game for Age of Empires 4! And today spawning on the west side of the map, playing in blue, we've got Corvinus playing as the Ottomans. And battling out against them today, spawning in on the east side of the map, playing in red, we've got 3DB playing as the Japanese. Welcome everyone to Wetlands. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, as always. I hope you guys are all doing very well. And we're going to be in for some great Age of Empires 4 action today. This is going to be the public update preview patch. So what we're going to be expecting to see in Season 9. Lots of changes to talk about, and this is definitely a change to the Ottomans. Different playstyle, looking to get onto the deer camp nice and early. Kind of curious. No early military school here for Corvinus. I wonder whether he's going to go for, heavy feudal age aggression, try and get those units out quickly, try and punish a Japanese fast castle, which is often what they do, really, isn't it? But we shall see. They've had a couple of changes in the most recent patch, with the daimyo mana now cheaper. It used to be 300 stone, now 225. Of course, plenty more other changes to talk about, especially with the Ottomans. They've got a new, 4 new vizier points to spend in the Imperial Council. They've got extensive fortifications, which allows all garrison arrows to be replaced by crossbow bolts. Pretty significant. And they do +2 damage. Versus heavy units, of course. So it's actually quite nice if you're thinking about, cavalry riding in, especially those mounted samurai. They're going to have a much tougher time of it if he does go for that vizier point. Then you do also have Timariats, which allows cavalry archers to be trained from the archery range and military schools. A new unit for the Ottomans. Kind of excited to see the potential of that. I don't know, of course, if we see it today. We'll have to see if we do or not. They've got Pax Ottomana, which is villager production speed increased by 50% by, for 4 seconds. Sorry, 4 minutes rather. 4 seconds wouldn't be very long, would it? 4 minutes. And that's going to be pretty cool if you go for multiple town centers for sure. Now, Great Bombard as well. This is probably the one that I'm most excited about. The Great Bombard can arrive at the capital town center as early as Castle Age. Now, the early version will be coming out if that's the case, but it would be upgraded automatically when you do get to the Imperial Age. Pretty interesting, kind of excited to see the potential of that. From Corvinus today, he's going to go for the Sultan Hani trade network, and it kind of makes a lot of sense on this map. The twin minaret madrasa with the berries is very nice for food, but ultimately, you've got other food sources, right? He's already ventured out to deer early anyway, and then you've got the shorefish close by on this map. It does make a lot of sense, especially with the forward gold that could be pressurized by B in the feudal age, and so getting that constant trickle of gold in is very nice. I suspect he won't be trading as such with that, but, good gold income will be coming on in. Now, it will be the Cocker Township. Interesting opening here for B. Not going for the Cura Storehouse. Kind of curious. I guess he's expecting to put some punishment on the deer camp here. Understandably so. But certainly not a landmark we see all that often. They've had a bit of a buff. The shinobi come out. They are a lot more cheaper. They'll come out faster as well. That's going to be nice to see on the map today. Now, I would like to say a very big thank you for everyone who's been supporting the channel, whether it be on Twitch or YouTube. You guys are absolute legends. Thank you. Special shout out, of course, to the YouTube channel members and Twitch subscribers. Thank you. As well as the YouTube super chatters. You guys are absolute legends. And if you have been enjoying the content on the channel, maybe watched maybe 2 or 3 casts today, or maybe not today, but, over the last week or so, make sure that you are subscribed. More importantly, hit that notification bell, because I will be uploading plenty more Age of Empires 4 casted games on the channel, so you won't want to miss them. And I make sure that I only upload the very best of the casted games, because of course everyone's time's precious and you don't want to waste 10-15 minutes on a game that's not all that good. So you've got that hopefully quality assurance. Obviously I'm the one judging whether the games are good or not, so take that as you will. Plenty of villagers now going on to gold here for B. I wonder if he's thinking about a fast castle here potentially, which is not too uncommon for the Japanese. Bit of harassment here, trying to deny the deer camp coming on in easily. He's done a pretty good job of that, actually, as it happens, Corvinus. Oh, wow. Okay, he's going to go for the outpost, which is on that forward goal position to protect it. He's expecting the shinobi, right? He knows it's coming. He scattered it out. There's the first of the shinobi. Got dragged away a little bit, so we'll delay the timings there a little bit. Not a lot, but, I mean, ultimately, this outpost is not necessarily going to protect the villagers on deer. He has gathered most of the food granted, so that's certainly helpful. The Sultan Hani trade network just about to go up. Shinobi making his way across the map. I wonder if he's going to commit to more. He is committing to more. There's another one queued up already. Well, has just come out for B. There's that feudalage now in for the Ottomans. He's keeping a keen eye, though, because he's, you know, conscious of the fact Shunshin could have come there as a sort of mini blink, mini teleport ability for the shinobi. Of course, doesn't really get close enough to the villagers. Villagers were pulled out nice and early. And he does use the sabotage, which put this on flames. And that's a lot of villagers on gold. I think Corvinus is thinking about a fast castle. It looks like it. Going for an outpost with the Araslitz upgrade. Kind of curious to see whether the Ottomans can beat the Japanese to it. And I think they might. He's going to venture out into Deer Camp now. And one thing that's great for the Japanese on this map, by the way, is the fact that the farmhouse doubles out as a population expansion building, as well as a drop-off point. And the reason why that's so good is because you're going to need to make houses anyway. So you can dart them across the map and, you know, get a drop-off point as well, essentially for free, where all these shorefish are. And of course, you've got berries with there as well. And berries are really nice for the Japanese, especially if they look to get those upgrades from the farmhouse. Of which he already has got the first one. I believe it's Tawara. Kind of a mini wheelbarrow, we like to call it for the Japanese. So yeah, definitely interesting opening on wetlands today. Now, the question is, what does the Ottomans go for the next landmark? Could go for the Mehmed Imperial Armory, like the kind of tried and tested, but I wouldn't be surprised to see the other one as well. Because you know, it's quite nice now that we've gotten more vizier points to choose from. And some of them are pretty powerful. We'll see exactly what Corvinus does in just a moment because he's almost there. Granted, actually, the food count just really escalated for B, so he's not going to be far behind at all to the Castle Age. Now, what's kind of nice about this matchup is that the Ottomans have some really good tools to deal with what generally comes out for the Japanese. You see a lot of mounted samurai coming into raid, and we did talk about the vizier point boosting up the town center into crossbow Araslitz rather than your usual ones, and that's obviously going to do great against the mounted samurai, getting the bonus damage versus heavy units. But also don't forget the Janissary, a specialized unit for the Ottomans, great against cavalry, and it will be the Istanbul Imperial Palace as the landmark here for the Ottomans, doubling the Imperial Council experience around the landmark and increasing the vizier point limit by +3. So that's actually quite a nice landmark. I think we're going to see a lot more of that, especially with now the mangonels nerfed. In fact, I think we're going to see a lot of it because the mangonels aren't always a great option nowadays with the debuff. They don't do just the damage they do is just not all that great, and they're a bit more prone to being attacked from ranged units as such. So yeah, I can imagine we're going to be seeing in the Istanbul Imperial Palace a lot more for the Ottomans. Wait a minute, Temple of Equality, what is going on here for B and the Japanese? Really weird landmark choices today. And this is going to allow the Buddhist monks to come out with some unique Buddhist technologies. So he's only going to be able to get out onto the map to pick up some relics, but what's going to be kind of cool is if he can get the Wololo with the relic in hand with the Buddhist monks, he can actually increase the quality of his own units, increasing their damage output. As well, being able to deploy the Sohei Sutra, enhancing damage of allies with the Buddhist conversion. That's the one we're talking about. But also, sorry, I take that back. It's actually Sohei Sutra is the one that decreases enemy damage. And then, of course, you've got the ability to be able to convert. We see this landmark so infrequently that it's hard to remember sometimes. But yeah, just to clarify, it is the Sohei Sutra, which is decreasing the enemy damage with the Buddhist monk. And then you've got the Buddhist monk, when it does have the relic inside, or carried, does deploy Wololo and will be able to boost the friendly units, allied units. We're going to get a blacksmith nice and early with the archery range, and with the Castle Age in now for both players, we're certainly heading to the mid-game, which is kind of exciting to see quite early, right? Only 9 minutes on the clock, and he's going to go for those crossbows. Obviously anticipating the mounted samurai, most likely. Getting an early Lancer as well, because he wants to try and challenge on the map, but also try and deny the Buddhist monks picking up those relics. So here it is. Upon casting Buddhist conversion, nearby allied units gain an increase of 20% damage for 20 seconds. Which, by the way, does stack with the Uma Bannerman, or any of the Bannermans. That could be quite pivotal, actually. Very strong indeed. We'll be getting taken apart by this Lancer, though. Should we get to the final kill there, I'd imagine. It has deployed that Sohei Sutra ability, actually, so it won't lose its life, that Buddhist monk. There it is. Reduces enemy damage by 50% for 60 seconds. Not bad at all. He's going to go for his own mosque. Looking to try and pick up some of those relics, ideally here, Corvinus. And there's a double stable. Kind of hidden. Interesting play there by B to keep that secret, right? He doesn't want Corvinus didn't know what he's going for. But I'm sure he'll be aware now because he sees the Bannerman. Mounted Samurai coming out as well. And yeah, going to be a cavalry affair nice and early, but I wouldn't be surprised to see a couple of Janissaries pop out for the Ottomans too. Going to get the ranged Dharma for the cavalry here. B, just in case he's going to be up against too many crossbows. The Buddhist monks will be able to heal up any of the weaker villagers. Go for the Buddhist temple as well. Interesting he's doing that. It's going to make more of these, potentially kind of mass them up. Kind of gives you vibes of the Delhi scholar situation when they do spam the scholars out. Granted, these Buddhist monks are relatively cheap, by the way. They only cost 80 gold. Almost on par with the Delhi sultanates. Cheaper scholars. Well, that's if you go for the Dome of the Faith, of course. He's going to start to push this back, Corvinus. And what's interesting is that getting a blacksmith at this position does also increase the production rate of these buildings, and is getting a lot of them. Getting a siege workshop, which I'm kind of curious to see, because, you know, Siege has had a big change, and maybe he's going to go for some Springles, potentially. That can do some damage against melee units, but I'm not so sure. I'm not too confident in that. That's a lot of villages and gold. Holy moly, B's really lapping it up. He wants these. Yeah, he's definitely going to be spamming out these Buddhist monks, because they do cost gold only, and that's the only explanation I've got for him collecting so much gold. To be fair, he's collecting a lot of food as well. He's keeping both of these stables running. Might need to add a third. He's kind of struggling on wood for that, though. Does manage to pick off one of the lancers from the Ottomans, and is chasing. Of course, not really a fight that the Ottomans can take with the Bannerman in play. And B has picked up one relic, and this is quite important because not only is it going to give him passive generation of gold, but also with the Wololo will allow him to actually activate the Buddhist conversion and increase the damage by 20% for 20 seconds. Very nice indeed. Bear in mind, the Bannerman gets involved too. That could be powerful together. Really good synergy there. Bannerman increasing the damage by 15% as well. Wasn't able to kill that Lancer in the end, and Corvinus will heal that up, so very nicely done. We hear the Vizier points coming in pretty frequently here. It's obviously courtesy of that landmark, the Istanbul Imperial Palace. Now, another relic possibly on the way here for B. There it is, being guarded by the cavalry. And Corvinus has actually found it a little bit tricky to get out on the map, right? I mean, he did make a couple of lances, but his army at the moment relatively static, and that allows B to get expansive on the map. You have no harm in getting in the north in terms of food if he wishes to, and is also picking up those relics. Hard for Corvinus to deny it without any cavalry units on the field, and I think, you know what? This could be edging towards a 5 relic game for B. He's already picked up 2 deposited, 2 more on the way. The other one's relatively close to him. I suspect he will get all 5, and that's going to be tough now for Corvinus. That's going to be a lot of passive gold generation. For the Japanese, possibly he's going to opt for a second town centre here, maybe as a keep, right? I kind of imagine it's going to be a keep in the middle. Understand me so, by the way, because there are 2 tiles of 8,000 gold right in the middle of the map with the sacred site. So that's going to be an important position to hold, right? I think Corvinus recognizes that. I think keeping that spot could be really important. But look how many cavalry he's got. Just pure mounted samurai with Buddhist monks to support. Do you know what? The Temple of Equality is looking pretty decent now, huh? Now, I would like to ask, by the way, all the viewers today, we've seen a couple of casted games from the public update preview. What do you think is your most favourite change so far? There's been a couple. I mean, I think certainly the Ottoman Vizier points is one of my favourite ones as well, but I don't know if we'll see it today, but a Great Bombard in the Cast Age could be a cool one as well. Yeah, I mean, there's a couple that's been floating around with lots of different civilizations. Let me know what your most favourite one is of the pup most recently. Of course, the English fellas, the English players, will be loving the Windguard changes. But more importantly, the new upgrade, really, that gives a +2 range. Because those Windguard Rangers are going to be absolutely cooking. If you haven't already, by the way, I have casted a game with the Windguard Rangers, looking how good they are versus the French. But the French... Jeanne d'Arc, I should say, really. Jeanne d'Arc does also have the ability now to make Jean's riders or Jean's champions from their production buildings. So that's definitely a cool dynamic. We saw a battle between the English with that. Jean's riders getting involved versus the Windguard Rangers. It was an epic battle. And I'll probably leave that as an end card at the end of this casted game. I'd really recommend watching that one. That was a very cool one. But we're not done with this game just yet, for sure. He's got enough stone for a keep, really. And he's going to place it right on top of the bore almost. Edging a bit further forward. Wants to protect that gold vein a little bit more. Unfortunately, that Lancer's likely to die. Just about gets away with it, maybe. But charge coming in from the Japanese might sort of sort that out. We'll keep a keen eye on that. Yeah, he gets the last hit in the end. And that's a lot of mounted samurai coming on the west side. Boosted up by 2 Bannermen, so... I mean, certainly if you lose one Bannerman, you still get an aura there left for 30 seconds, but he's got another one there to support as well for safety, just in case he does lose one. Springold's crossbows. Yeah, this is kind of interesting. I'm kind of curious to see how this will fare. I don't know if it's going to work too well, but obviously the crossbows Janissaries will rip through the mounted samurai, surely. It's got the meta as well, increasing the attack speed by 15%. Very nice indeed. This could be painful. There's not enough units here. He's got the outpost, got the vision, but... Oh, this could be devastating. He loses 2 villages, at least 3 must be. Yeah, lost 3 so far. This is going to be a massive hindrance to the economy. He's idling the wood and gold. He's going to be getting the sacred site down the middle, but now he has to pull the army. And this is the issue about having a mobile army against you. Like, this is so powerful. He takes down the outpost, loses yet more villages. Lost 7 in total, or 6 in total. About to be 7, I'd imagine. Crossbows are now in position. So should be able to get... Oh, wait, what are the mounted samurai doing? They're going towards the crossbows there for a second. Decides better of it, and rightly so. Backs away for now, but he's lost 9 villages. Great raid there by these mounted samurai, and Corvinus is kind of in trouble a little bit. But I tell you what, he has got a bombard in the 3rd age, the castle age. 55 base damage, but 480 versus buildings. Oh, I don't know. He's getting ready. This is it. These units have been buffed now. With the Bannerman as well to boot, these are going to be looking really good. 36 base damage. This could be dangerous. He's going straight for the kill. He's going to snipe out the bombard potentially here. Crossbows on in position. Oh, he doesn't go for it though. He goes for the cavalry. He's kind of been distracted by the scout or two, but look around the back. The mounted samurai trying to get some value. There's so many units here for the Japanese, but he's been pushed away down the middle, but it is a distraction. Okay, he's going to go for the outpost, and he should be able to take it. These villagers super exposed on the food as well. Oh, this could be devastating. He just can't come back quick enough. Oh, maybe he can, actually. Crossbows just in position in time. Janissaries as well. Oh, B, he's taking the fight. I'm not so sure about this one. He's going to go for it. Now, he does have the Bannerman still in play, but... Yeah, I don't know about this one. Oh, this could be devastating. He's going to go on the right side, potentially. No, he's got his secondary army waiting to pounce, but he loses a lot there. To be fair, I mean, what? He actually traded semi-decently there. That's crazy. I was expecting that to be a lot more one-sided, but actually, you know, B, it was a relatively decent trade overall. Like, yeah, I'm surprised. I'm surprised. I'll hold my hands up and say, you know what, I thought it was going to be a lot worse there for B. As he siphons off another batch of army down the south, he's just constantly raiding. It's worked well for him twice in the game so far. He's going to go for a 3rd time. And yeah, Corvinus is just unfortunately not able to maintain a constant push, right? Just the openness of this map allows these cavalry units to really utilize their mobility, despite being against their counter. You know, going up against crossbows and janissaries as your mounted samurais, you're not really generally, you know, in a head-to-head fight, you're not going to be favoring those mounted samurai, but what B is doing here is making sure that it is not a head-to-head fight, and he's just going to raid around the back. This could be devastating again. Going to pick up 1 Springald at the very least. I should be able to retreat to the keep. He's going to lose the Buddhist temple though, I'd imagine. The bombard getting a lot of value. Speaking of value, the group of lancers, group of mounted samurai have been getting a lot less value as time goes on. Oh, the village is popping out. No, that's not safe enough just yet there, my dude. Does he have the crossbow? No, he doesn't. It's the regular ones, if I'm not mistaken. Wait, I think he does actually have the crossbow there. Either way, there's the Wallow. Going to be buffering up the units now. Mounted Samurai will have the extra attack on them. 37 as a base at the moment. Coming in from the south. This is a wraparound. This could be devastating. I don't think Corvinus has enough. There's not enough of the meat shield here. Just crossbows and janissaries. And sure, that's the counter unit. But when you've got this number of mounted samurai, with this number of Buddhist monks healing on behind this, this is devastating. There it is, Legion. GG gets called. The bombard wasn't taken out. But still, everything else was. The Ottomans tap out. And it will be 3DB and the Japanese triumphing on wetlands. Hope you guys enjoyed this casted game, and if you did, you're going to want to watch the next one. It was English versus Jean. I'll leave the end card on your screen right now. Take care, and see you next time.